Oh, yes.
Okay. How do I change my password?
For
Wi-Fi.
click down here where you have the little like global symbol.
Okay.
What's the meeting link?
The ID number or the link?
Yeah, the ID
Uh,
number. Very
701 522 270. Did you find it?
But where do I put it in at? I went to
Click on the little
settings.
Wi-Fi thing right there. So on the little arrow next to it.
Okay.
Then do JW Morton Wi-Fi, and then connect, and then do capital J, capital W, lowercase m 0 RT 0 N exclamation mark.
Thank you.
Now you hit next. And then it should connect you. And then, Brandy or Joan, can you hear me all right?
Good morning.
Brandy or Joan, can you hear me all right? I'm going to assume that they can. All right, so we're going to go over our website today. It's fairly simple to create. I noticed that this particular agent in our office did her website, and I thought it looked nice. Brittany, are you a website designer? Do you know how to code? Do you know anything? No. I have not helped Brittany, and this is what she did with her website. She has a picture. She has, you can find homes. She has a little description. There's featured properties. She could change this to be her properties that she has listed, and it is fairly simple. She made a blog post, and she did all this without having a degree in web design.
Corey?
Yes, yeah. So basically what we're going to do today is we're going to show you just how simple it is to kind of create this website, at least a very simple version of it, and the benefits of having your own website. So the first thing we're going to do is, again, there's two ways to reach it. You can either go to mymoxi.century21.com and click enter, and that'll bring me to my Moxi. And so I am on Karen's account right now, so Karen will show up. Alternatively, you can go to 21online.com if you think that's a little bit more simple. And then I'm going to sign in. Then in the menu, I'm going to go over, that's on the top right, I'm going to go over to the Productivity Hub. And then I keep scrolling down. This is all in alphabetical order till I get to M. And I'll find Moxi. Hopefully in the near future they'll change this to just say click here to go there. But basically all of these have an introduction on how to, on what they are. So I'm going to just hit Moxi websites, learn more. And then it's going to bring me to this page. And at the top it'll say access Moxi websites.
Okay, how do I get to the product?
I lost you that one.
On Productivity. I'm on Century 21 online.
Just click out of this real quick.
Productivity Hub?
And
Correct.
then just hit the tour thing. Yeah, just go to my dashboard.
So you haven't finished doing this.
Yeah.
So if you just scroll down to the bottom and you can hit skip to dashboard. That is for like if you haven't gone on 21 online, it's going to go through like goals and some things.
Websites.
So now you're going to hit menu.
Yeah.
That's where I couldn't find menu.
Yeah, and then productivity.
Okay, now
So
where?
then on the top right, you see where it says menu. We go to the Productivity Hub.
Dan, are you there?
Yeah, Moxi websites, right?
Yep.
Learn more.
And then you click on this little button that says access Moxi websites.
No, you can scroll, and it's alphabetical
Scrolling
order, so you're gonna go down to the M's.
M's, and then,
Moxie website.
websites.
Learn more.
What'd you say, Joe?
I'm doing an outline on everything you're trying to tell us.
Okay.
Moxi
So
website.
that you go step by step. You
And
may
then
know
just
some
hit the
people.
Access Moxi website.
Now, I already have a website. I pay somebody for a website.
Okay.
I'm writing a blog, but,
Oh.
so what,
We were kind of talking with Pat about this too. One, you need to find out, are you paying separately for the domain versus the website? And if you are, that's a good thing, because then you can cancel the website once this new one is up, and you just keep paying for the domain, because we don't want you to lose your website name if people have it and they use it and all of that.
yeah, I pay, what you call it, GoDaddy for it.
Right, exactly. So that's good. So you can keep your domain going. So once you're happy with this website, I would tell you stop paying your website creation company to keep running it and whatnot, because that website would no longer be needed. We'll just make your domain go to this new website as well. So when somebody types in lindathomas.com or whatever it is, it goes to this new website.
Okay,
So-
because I mean, I've had this, the website for a long time, but I've never gotten leads from it. And I just use it like I have my blog.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
So what we're just gonna update, because the name's not gonna change. So you're not gonna, anybody that has that website, that URL, is still gonna use that same URL. We're not changing that at all.
Alright.
But we're saying, don't spend money paying someone for a website when you can have a really good one from corporate and all of that.
All right. So we are now in our hub over here. So this is the My Moxi Hub. I always recommend, again, you can go through 21 Online. You can go through, Vanessa, did you have a question?
Oh, sorry, no.
You're good. Yeah. Okay, Joan, you got it? Okay, perfect. All right. So I always recommend just going straight to mymoxi.century21.com. Again, if you're more comfortable with 21 Online, go ahead and do that. But from there, again, we have our 4 that we use: present, engage, my website, and impress. Today we're going to be going to my website. So go ahead and hit access Moxi Engage or Moxi websites on that. And then the first time you go in, it might ask you to do 1 or 2 extra things, but we'll see.
Does access Moxi Impress?
Yeah, so let me,
I'm on a different one.
that's okay, because you're gonna get to your hub. So go ahead and hit Access Moxi.
Should I open my learning platform?
No, go ahead and cancel. Okay.
So
And you
the
would
way
go to
that
my
Century
website.
21 kind of set it up right now, when you go
At the top.
through this process, so you got to scroll down and hit I agree. It's always going to bring you, like you're going to do multiple clicks and then it'll bring you to the Moxi hub regardless. That will eventually phase out to where you click Moxi, it'll take you to the hub right away, which we wish they would do right now. But people are still learning the system and figuring it out. So
Yes.
so this is what you called your Moxi hub. So if you scroll up, you're gonna see you have all of X that out. You have all of your things. So we're working on websites right now. Present is the CMA program. Engage is gonna be your Zap replacement. But go ahead and click my websites. And now you're gonna see you're in the same place that Tom is. Okay.
So basically, there's already a standard website created for you. If you click in the top left right here, it should say visit site. And if you click on that, you see your website. I have never touched Karen's website. She has never touched her website, but this already exists. Is it basic? Yes, but it's there. So now what we're going to do is we're slowly but surely going to change this website to make it to our liking. So basically there's this whole thing that says common tasks where you can personalize your site style, homepage, default search area, custom search. And so if you just go through them one by one, it guides you through the process of how to get to where you want to get to.
So you're
So the first thing I'm going to do,
pick what you want your URL to be. So
Okay.
I just checked that one.
so
That's
we
good.
do
Yeah.
Good with that?
personalize your site style, and we're going to hit go there.
Now hit go to site.
So we have a searched focused, which kind of shows it like this, as you can kind of see from the image. Or alternatively, you can do agent focused. So you can do that right here. And so it'll look like this. So for instance, right now my website looks like this. But if I decide, hey, I want to do agent focus,
We're on appearance now.
and I hit publish, if I now reload my web page, now it's going to have that agent focus view. I'll be honest, I prefer the other one. So I'm going to go back to search focus. And I'm going to go hit publish again. And so now it says I'm on search focus. And then if I look on my website, now my website will have this again. Does that make sense, everyone, to start off?
That's currently what we have set up for you.
Okay.
If you hop back over to appearance.
You could also do a custom page. I'll go over how to make a custom page. For the purpose of your homepage, if you want it to be pretty cookie cutter, I would say use this just because it's all set up. But at the end, we'll show you an example of a website that has custom pages that we made. Okay. So when we're back in our editor, I guess you could call it, we have our homepage layout. Now we see our header. So on the left side, instead of homepage layout, we hit header. We see here the default header has your brokerage picture right there, and then all of your tabs after that. And so again, I can see the logo and all of my tabs. But I can also switch that to be, for instance, brokerage focused. So I'll click on that, and then I'll hit publish. And now again, if I go to my website and I refresh the page, now out of nowhere, I have a different header. I have the header that it shows. What you can do is you can change the background colors and the text colors of this. If you decide to do a light background, you want to do this one. If you decide to do a dark background, you want to do this one. So again, it takes you through the steps one by one of how to do everything. So when you're in your header, you can change it. So for instance, if I make my background color black and my text color white, and you can change this around, make it whatever you like. You can put in hex codes if you're familiar with what that is. I can make it yellow. I can make it, a little greenish yellow. I can go up. I can go down. I can change all these colors. And once I'm satisfied, I see here that the background color is black. So that's a dark background. So on step 3, I do dark background logo. And then right here, I just hit publish. And now if I go to my website again, out of nowhere, instead of this being white with black text, you'll notice that this is black with gold text. And you can mess around with this. And you can keep changing everything. I'll be honest, I like the default one that doesn't do anything, but if you think you want a different color, right here you have it as well, and then you still have the opportunity to change the colors if you'd like. But for the purpose of just making it simple and keeping everything simple, we're just going to hit default header, publish it. And then again, when I go over to this tab right here that has my website and I refresh, I see now that it is back to that default header. So this is what it looked like.
It's bigger than mine. Mine little.
Yeah, so I think that might just be because I'm on this computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But it's
size-wise, this is a massive TV. This is not normally what people would see because
Yeah.
they're not using a TV as a computer.
Usually a TV is a little bit wider and a little less high, so it's going to look a little bit different than your standard computer screen.
What's this FHE under my name?
So that's fine, home and estates. That's the designation that you have.
Okay.
We'll go over how to get rid of that or change it if you'd like. All right, so we did our header. You can also do a custom footer. I'm not going to touch this for now. I don't recommend changing a footer unless you really get into it. And if you really want a footer, I'll help you through it. But basically you can make it to where the tabs that appear at the top of your screen, if you end up changing any of those, for instance, Brittany has one that says meet your realtor. You can set it up to where at the bottom of your screen, you can also have something that says meet your realtor instead of just this little gray bar. All right, perfect. So I'm not going to touch footer for now. So we got done with the appearance part of our website. Now we go down to the thing that says home page. So right now the title is home. And so what I like to do is I like to kind of just go through, and every time I make a change and publish it, just look at my website and see what it changed and what I'm looking at. So I see the title of the page is home, and I see at the top here it says home. If I wanted to change that word, I would say, oh, okay, the home page title, I would change it here. I see this image right here, and I'm like, huh, this looks like the picture that's right here. What if I change that? So you can hit upload or choose image. And there are many ways you can upload your own picture, which did you get your own picture?
I think I got it over Canva.
Okay, yeah. So you can do that, or there's literally this whole gallery of pictures that you can use. Now, Citrus County is not known for their, beautiful mountains and curvy roads and old architecture, but let's say we're in an area where this is something that exists. I would recommend doing something like that. So I would click this image. And again, if you go to image gallery over there, or you can upload your own picture as well, right?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Gallery is what Tom's on right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or again, you could do your own picture as well, which you can pull directly from your computer. But I'm just going to do, let's do this cute home over here. So I'm going to select it for the custom area. And then now if I scroll all the way down to the bottom and I hit publish, now if I go back to my website, it'll be a different picture. And if I say, man, I really don't like this picture, I just go back and I pick a different one.
It looks a little more Florida.
So for instance, you can have these stock images. You can have, if you're into these like modern looks, you can do that, something like this. I think this is a really nice picture. Let's do it. If you're in like Massachusetts or Norway or something, that's a great picture. Okay, but we've done that. Now again, I see here it says headline, find your dream home. If I have no idea what that means, what I do is I go, huh. So I look over on my website and I see here, find your dream home. And I say, you know what, that's not what I like. I want, in all caps, I want it to say results matter. And I want my name, my name is Karen Morton, but, I really go by Francine. I don't know. I can change this to Francine Morton. And I need to make sure I turn my caps off for that. So I can do Francine Morton, and then I could say also known as Karen. Perfect. I can change my image if I'd like. And you see here where it says designations, and it says FHE, and it says it for you right there. You can get rid of that. You can keep that. You can do whatever you want with it. And so, again, here I say, I don't want that. That looks funky. So I'm going to do Karen Broker. And then we'll say, just if you are broker associates, for instance, broker associate. My direct phone number, you can make it whatever you want. I say, I really don't want my license number on there. And I feel like the office name is kind of shown everywhere, so I really don't want it on there. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I've made a lot of changes. So I'm going to hit this publish button again, all the way at the bottom real quick. And now when I look at my website over here and I refresh it, then out of nowhere, it'll say results matter. And it'll still say Karen Morton here. But in the search feature, if people are, for instance, on Google, it'll say Francine Morton. If I want to change this to say something else, I would go back to this, and instead of Karen Morton, I would do Francine Morton or whatever I want my name to be. But
Now,
yes,
ask a question,
yes,
2 questions really. Can you go back to what you just did, the page, the header page?
Yeah.
Right there. Do we have to have, well, it doesn't say the name you put on there, but
That's what He was just saying, you can change the name.
Okay, but if you did change it, don't you have to publish, have a fictitious name? Because your license reads Karen Morton, not Francie Morton or whatever you said.
Correct. I think for the purpose of your website, I think it is fine to have,
Well, you just publish whatever your license name says. So
In the
if
second
your
place,
license name says Francine, use Francine.
I think you have to publish that as well.
Right.
right,
So I'm not sure you're correct legally there.
okay,
Yeah, publish whatever your license says.
okay, then we'll publish whatever our license is. That's right. So I now have this, but I noticed on Brittany's website, she has this little introduction. So I'm like, hey, I want that little introduction. So what I do is I go back to my homepage, and then I see here, welcome text, and I'm going to show a custom text.
That one.
So I start saying, I have been in Citrus, we'll fix that. And I'm gonna check the chat though. Like, okay. So I can say, I have been in Citrus County for so many years. I love it here. And I'm just, for the purpose of, seeing what it's like, I'm just gonna put this for now. Put whatever you like, put as much as you think you need to. And then, again, I see that I have that custom text. So once I hit publish and reload my page, that'll show up. Also over here, it says title featured properties, and it says my office's listing. So again, if I look here, it'll say featured properties, and it's showing my office's listings. If I want that to be just my own listings, I could do my active listings, my sold listings, my company's active listings, my company's sold listings. So I'm going to
Just
do,
one of them?
yeah, and you can create custom lists as well. That will do, and I'll show you that, because is there like a specific one you want?
Yeah, if you wanted my active and my solds together,
You
you
can
would
do-
do that in a custom list, because you can only select one of these drop
Right,
downs.
yeah.
But let's just say you wanted both my actives and my solds to show, you would do it in the creative property.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
If you wanted both of those.
And so we'll go over how to do that. But for instance, again, we said results matter. So I'm going to say, and I'll do it in all caps, I'll do my results. And, you can change this around if you like. There's also a blog. If you create a blog post, it'll show up. Brittany, I believe the one where you said meet your realtor, that is a blog post, correct? So if you look here on Brittany's, right here, it says, and she changed it to say meet your realtor instead of just blogs, but this is her blog post. Once she posts another blog, it'll show up above it and it'll give a date. Once there's another one, it'll show up above it and give it a date. And so what you do, where you have all these blogs, your blogs are going to show up on your home page, but there's also just somewhere, it should say blogs, which you can activate.
Well, she changed it to meet your realtor.
Correct. Sorry, you changed that to meet your realtor. And so here, all her blog posts will show up. And so she made this post. It says, hi, welcome. I'm Brittany. And then, I can click on this because this is her blog post. And then I can see all this stuff about her. If she had, for instance, 10 blog posts, I would see 10 of these little squares here with the pictures that are associated with it. And it looks really, really nice. So we have that, we have the title, and she changed that to, to meet your realtor, which I could do that as well if I wanted to. And then there's also a useful links. And then you can add, for instance, your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, email, location, whatever you want on there, You
Do
could
you have to have all of those?
No, you do not.
You can like remove the blog
Correct.
if you don't have a blog.
Correct. If you don't have blogs, no blogs show up. Like
Okay.
it won't even show
Oh,
up.
okay. So you don't have to do anything to remove it. If you
Correct.
don't put anything in, it won't show up.
Correct.
Can you link into MLS?
Yeah.
Customers don't have access to MLS.
Yeah.
But you can.
Well, customers don't have access to MLS. If I linked in MLS, it would ask you to sign in, and a customer can sign into MLS.
So
Agents only have access to MLS.
somebody's looking for property was my idea, they could. go
They would-
this way.
They should use this website. They shouldn't use MLS.
He just said you can't, so.
You can use the website. You
Yeah.
cannot use MLS. You can use this.
How do you get the properties on your website without using MLS?
I'll show you that.
It already uses Dash. Remember, this website already has all our listings and everything on it without linking MLS because it does that in the background.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to have it useful to access and go through the agents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This website already has search features.
So you can also add a video, which if you do, it'll show up at the bottom. It's sort of like a featured video. And if you've done that, then if you look all the way at the bottom, there's this thing that says sample mortgage rates. If you want that on there, you can have it. But if you want to get rid of it, there's a mortgage rate settings. You can hit hide this widget. And so now I have made all my changes and I'm going to hit publish. And so now if I reload my website, I will see that now I have results matter, my updated picture, my name. I've been in Citrus County for so many years. I love it here. My results, and this will say sold on, sold on, sold on. And these are all of Karen's closed properties right here. And I can change that to be just our whole office, but as you can see right here, Karen Morton, Karen Morton, Karen Morton, Karen Morton. So like these are her actual sold listings.
How far back can you go on your sold listings?
I have it set right now to just showing, and again, if you scroll down to that little area, it shows 20 total, but it must be less than or equal to 100. So if I want to have up to 100, I would change this to 100. I would hit the publish button.
But as far back as years wise, I mean,
It goes back to 100. So if it
100 years?
no, 100 properties.
Okay.
So if it 5 years ago was your 100th sold property, it'd go back 5 years.
Right.
If for Pat it was only 2 years, it'd only go back 2. It just does.
But it's saved in this.
Yeah, remember, Century 21 knows all of your closings and deals that you've ever had. So
And this is sorted to some. This is sorted by price, so you might have had a closing yesterday for $5,000, but that probably wouldn't show up if you have more than 100. Whereas your bigger ones are going to show up. So you'll see this right here. We have all of these, and
So like if you look, that was from 2018. So hers already went back 5 years.
then we have one from 2017 here, 2022, 2020, 2021. But we get the
Yeah, you guys get to choose how many you want to show.
right.
Show.
Does it show the sold date?
Yep.
Top left corner is the sold date.
Oh, that's right.
And again, if someone's like, oh my gosh, they can click on it, and then because we're in like the editor and it's not linked, they can't see it. But usually you would be able to see this.
You'll see like a property detail page.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we have done that. As you can see, Karen does not have a blog. So the blog is not going to show up over here. She does not have any useful links. So the useful links is not going to show up. Brittany did do that stuff. So when you're at the bottom of this, it'll say, it has featured properties, but you can say meet your realtor. A little bit about me, useful links, Facebook and Instagram. So if I click on this, it'll take me to her Facebook. Awesome. All right. So,
Do you mind going back to the page creator real quick
yeah.
for a second? The one thing I want to review, and Tom, use your mouse to kind of point me. When you get to the start of this, like hit the home, because that's what they see. Where from here, just so you guys know, look over on the left-hand side and work your way down the tab here is ultimately how you're going to want to work this. So remember, we started with appearance. We picked the default look, like layout of how we want it to look. Start there because that then affects where everything else goes. So start with appearance, decide whether you want a header and footer and what your layout is, and then you work into the home page. What's on the home page? Then you can keep going down the line. So again, just as a refresher on how to organize this, we're not randomly picking an order that you're supposed to go through. It's literally from the top down here. And that's going to be the best way to go through this. And it's just going to be kind of click, follow the steps. If you want a blog, if you have a blog, add your blog. If you don't have a blog, you don't add anything and it won't show up. They've made it pretty user friendly for everybody.
And you can change it. Let's say you created one, you can go back.
And it's live changing. So the second let's just say you create a blog tomorrow, Dan, you go back in here and you type in your blog website, you link it and you hit publish, boom, it's there. And then what's really cool, again, what Tom was saying is if you post something on your blog, it automatically then updates it on your website as well. Yeah, I think it's a smart thinking concept. So when Linda writes something on her blog, not on this, but on her blog, and her blog is linked to this website, it will update itself. Because again, it's a live link. Whenever she posts something on the blog, that's a live link. This also understands it like a live link.
Yep. And we'll see here too, as we go down, that it says one that says blog posts. And so you have all posts, add new, post categories, tags. So I believe that Brittany has a category that says meet your realtor, and then she has a blog post within that category. If she has a category that says learn the market, and she has posts about how the market is moving, what you'll see instead then is you'll see down here, it says meet your realtor, a little bit about me. If let's say she makes one about her kids, my kids, and then if she makes one about the market, you'll see in bold again where it says learn the market, and then below you'll have those blog posts in that category.
Now, Linda, you're going to probably use the import blog feature because you already have that existing one.
Yeah.
Or blog import.
Well, when I create my blog, I usually correct it in Pages, and then I cut and paste it into the website then.
Right, right.
But then I also have to download pictures, I have to download PDF files in the blog.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll play with that more to see if we can make it easier for you. Because what I'm thinking is if you do it once, we should be able to grab everything just from that one time. Like when you make your blog, obviously originally, that is not going to change. You still have to make your original blog post. But from there, we'll hopefully be able to just grab everything it's already done. You won't have to piecemeal it back together, is the goal.
So a couple reasons why you should want to use your website. One, if I go on Zillow.com and I'm working with someone who doesn't prefer to have the homes emailed, you just send the listing, you text it to them through Zillow or Realtor. It's going to show the realtor's picture or a random realtor's picture. What I do now is if I am helping a buyer who's like, text me some homes, what I'll do is if I do a property search, and I can do this on my phone as well, and for instance, they say, I am interested in that house on, Beach Circle in Inverness. So we'll see this here. I'm pretty sure this one's pending, but we can't see it. That's good. So for instance, if I see East Smoke Tree Place 9, and I have a buyer that's like, I'm interested in this. Now, if I send this link up here, it'll show instead of the actual realtor, so, the person from EXP, it'll show my name. It'll show call me, email, my website.
So it's like a listing agent.
Correct. It's always going to say you. And if someone's like, hey, I need some help looking for a house, direct them to your website, have them create, and so it looks a little bit different for us because we are on the website, but they can register an account and they can like and dislike a bunch of homes, and we can see the homes that they like and dislike. And so we kind of get a grasp of what they're looking for. That is probably the thing that's a little bit harder because, you have to convince people to not use Zillow or Realtor. But again, we can do all these different things where we look inside this area. And this specifically is not linked to our MLS. It is linked to IDX is what they call it. So, if I wanted to search for Tampa, Florida, for instance, we probably don't have any listings in Tampa in our MLS, but all of these listings are in Stellar MLS and showing up. Karen's account on Dash is not linked to Stellar or anything, so that's not dependent on it. We can just see all of these right here. Does that make sense? So if people say, I want to look in Ocala, they can do that. You just go to Ocala, Florida. And they can see all the houses in Ocala, Florida. They say, I want to look in Marion Oaks, Florida. We look at Marion Oaks specifically right here. And so we see all the homes in Marion Oaks that are available. Does that make sense to everyone? Additionally, there's this thing that we can route them to. And this is something that's a little bit more interactive when you're talking to your potential buyers, is there's this thing we have called neighborhood news. And so we can say, hey, look, let's say you're looking for a house, but you're not really actively looking. We have this great tool that you can use. It is called neighborhood news. And these people can click on this, and then from there, they can set themselves up to receive monthly listing updates, as well as price updates, trends in that market, and a couple more pieces of information. And then that automatically sets them up, and they get added to your database. So you have someone that you just captured without ever having to really worry about it. Because they just click that neighborhood news, and they figure out, what the pricing trends are, what homes are available, what homes have sold in that area. And so those are the two main reasons why I think you should at the very least set up a standard website. And basically all we did is we went into our little editor thing and we changed the homepage and the appearance. We haven't changed anything else. And we have a fully functioning, nice website with our picture, our closed listings, neighborhood news, and an opportunity for people to do a property search.
So when they do the property search, everything that comes to them is gonna be your picture and your contact.
Correct.
Everything.
We're never gonna show anybody else's.
Just like Zillow.
Right. While Zillow will show
Other realtors.
other
Well,
realtors.
they will, but I meant,
It'll look the same as Zillow, yeah.
Correct, yeah, the layout and design is up. The only thing by law that it has to do is has to list the broker's name, just the broker. Doesn't have to list an agent. So that's why it says
By Realty,
flatfee.com, Best Choice Realty, JW Morton Real Estate Inc. It has to legally show that. But when, click on this one, for instance, since it's ours. If I'm basically using Karen as my agent, doesn't show Luke here. It shows Karen because me as a buyer have been captured by Karen, not by Luke. So again, that's the whole concept of this website, is to keep you front and center. Because if I go on Zillow and I search this same listing, I'm going to get 3 different agents that pay money to buy leads. I'm going to get whoever the listing agent is as well. So I'm getting all different kinds of information thrown in front of me of who I need to call and talk to.
So for them to get information, they have to call Karen.
Yeah.
And so look, and the nice thing too is it has the pictures, you can go through the pictures like this. And as you scroll down, this thing is always going to stay up there. So they're like, man, how do I learn more about this house? Call me, email, website, so it brings you back to it. Then, and for instance, if you share this on your Facebook, for instance, and they didn't go through your website, but you share this exact link on your Facebook, then they can say, oh, let me look at Karen's website. And that's another way to get people into your website. So if you ever have a new listing, I would recommend just posting your website's link of it on your Facebook and your Instagram and, wherever else you can put it. Another thing that's cool is, for instance, I'm in Marion Oaks right here, this house, and it says calculate drive times to this property. I said, so I want to live here, but I want to work at this office on 1645 West Main Street. And I hit calculate. It'll basically tell me that, it takes about, and then it tells me like the times where it's busiest. So for instance, if I left at 8 a.m., it would take me about 40 minutes. If I left at 9 a.m., it would take me about 38 minutes. It's not crazy. And, it would take me 36 minutes at 5:30. So, and then his address to listing as well. It kind of tells you the times. So basically you get this whole idea of exactly how long it takes. It talks about a walk score, a bike score. You can have estimated monthly mortgage payments on it, to tell you the interest rates. And right now it would be $1,204 a month if you put down 20%. So it can tell you all of these things, and all you have to do is literally go in once, just make sure your appearance is right, your homepage is the way you like it, and then from there, this is all you really need.
Please have a picture.
Yes, and I think we already have most people in here, but basically, try to get a professional picture. If not, we set up a deal with a photographer on the 29th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We already have, I think, 11 people, so, we have room for a little more, but for $50, he'll take a professional picture of you. So, if you haven't gotten a text or told me verbally that you're interested in doing this, but you are, just let us know and we'll add you to the list.
How do I know what picture you have of me?
Of you, I think I have that little one with the green background. What's up?
What time is that?
That's that's Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're gonna set it up in 10, once we get a little bit closer to it, I think by the end of this week, we're gonna set it up in like 10-minute time slots, because he said it takes, some people it takes 5 minutes, some people it takes 10. But you just wanna show up, it takes 10 minutes, you're in and out, and, within a couple days, you'll have a new professional picture of his.
A couple things I want to talk about with the neighborhood news. For those of you that may be feeling some of this slowdown or asking yourself, what can I do to get my business going? We've heard absolutely amazing results from that neighborhood news. So something to think about is your sphere of influence, your friends, family, past customers. I've said it before, kind of the layout that I'm hearing that works very well is call your friends, family, your sphere of influence and say, hey, I'm testing out this new feature called neighborhood news on my website. Could you be a part of it for me? Right? So in any way, shape, or form did I just ask, will you buy a house from me or toss a sales pitch or anything like that? No, all I did was ask me to be a part of neighborhood news. And again, what does neighborhood news do? Shows them what the market's doing in their neighborhood. If they want to search for houses, they can search for houses. And I'm not pushing anything on them except for them to sign up for that. I capture that person and they have the ability to then see some cool data that may or may not influence them to buy or sell. That's it. But it also had like an extremely high open rate. Way better than anything else Century 21 has ever played with.
What
So
does that mean, by open rate?
somebody actually clicks the email and looks at it. I know, for instance, my open rate when I send you all an email is probably at about 40% opening. It means 40% of our agents open the email that I send. The data pulled, they had a 71% open rate on neighborhood news. It's things that people actually care about. It's their specific neighborhood. It's not you live in Inverness and it's giving you Tampa statistics. Nobody cares about Tampa if they're living in Inverness for the most part.
I don't know what neighborhood news is.
So cut back over.
1 second. I'm just gonna pull one up.
Yeah. So on your website at the very bottom, you have basically it's a bar and it's called neighborhood news. And again, the thing I encourage you guys to encourage your sphere of influence to basically quote unquote sign up for that. And once they do, this is ultimately an email that they get. And this is just Tom did one as a demo so you can see kind of what it looks. But if someone's looking for a specific property, let's just say a 3-2 in Black Diamond for under 500,000, they have the ability to input that kind of a search and it will automatically send them monthly updates for that neighborhood. Or again, like I told you, if you've got your sphere of influence, they put in their own neighborhood and they can see what's going on in Black Diamond and Inverness Golf and Country Club, so on and so forth.
So this sent on October 22nd. So probably tomorrow I'm going to get a new email, or Frank Williams, who's a fake person, is going to get a new email that says neighborhood news, and it's going to say their report. So this kind of shows, what the search parameters are. They're pretty standard, but they are in a specific neighborhood. So if you hit the view full report thing right here, and people can click on this, what they'll see is neighborhood news, listings for you in Citrus County, Florida. So it's going to pull up all these active listings in Citrus County within the last 30 days. So from when I sent that last email, and then it has a mortgage calculator, and then it talks about the trends. So if we look at, the median sold price, it was pretty high in June, a little bit down in August, and we're kind of back in the middle in September and October.
And remember, Tom set that as Citrus County-wide. Again, what we're probably going to see for your sphere of influence is they're going to select their specific neighborhoods more than the entire county.
Yeah.
Which again makes it one step even more, I guess, personal and interesting to them.
We pick it out or they pick it out?
We can set them up, or they can do it themselves.
Yeah, like let's just say you have your website created and I'm Joe Schmo, don't know you, but I go to your website and across the bottom it says neighborhood news and I'm like, I'm interested and I click that. It's gonna ask me those parameters as well. On the flip side, again, Tom set this up for Frank to do Citrus County wide over 1,000 square feet because he knew that's what Frank was interested in. So you have both parameters and again, both capture that buyer or seller, depending on who it is. Because that's the goal at the end of the day is you want to make sure you're capturing these people that are potentially interested in buying and selling, or at least getting them on the hook.
And so again, you can see the days to sold in April, it was at an all low at 90 days. And now we're up at more than 148 days. So that is from active all the way to sold. That's the average. So, if someone asks why is it taking 50 days longer to sell my house, it's because it might take 50 days longer to sell your house now. Then it talks about listing versus sold price. And so this is basically the news that you can set. And it gives you this whole thing, and it says one more insight into this market data, boom, send a message. And right here, I'll get a message that says Frank Williams, has a question, or Frank Williams sends a message. So that's one thing that, if you can set people up to this, it sends it once a month to them, doesn't create any sort of obligations to them, and it just creates a little update of everything that's active in their chosen area. And again, if you say, hey, if you want, analytics, just click on the full report, and then you'll see what's happening in your neighborhood. Okay, so we have now done that. We see right here, we have our home, properties, your about me, so you can create a bio, you can change this. You would just have to let us know because this is directly through Dash. But basically, there's all these different things that you can do right here. Or if you say, man, I really don't want this page on here. And by the way, you can link your Zillow reviews and stuff to this as well. But if you say, man, I really don't want my page on here. Now what we're going to do is instead of home page, we're going to go to site pages. So now we go on to the next one. And I see here about me, my bio, contact me, testimony. If I say, I just really don't want that tab, I just hit hide. And I don't want the buying and selling either. I just hit hide. And then just the only thing we want to remember is we hit the publish button. That's always going to be at the bottom of any page when we're working on this. So I now click on this. Sorry, so the page will still be there if you have the link, but we see here that now I only have home, properties, and neighborhood news. So now if I just want to have those three things, I just have those three things. I don't need anything else. If I wanted to, still have sort of an about me, make a blog like Brittany did, and then from there, people can still see down here. So I guess on Brittany's website, people can still see down here, meet your realtor, and she could still get rid of the contact me if she really wanted to. So there's different ways to go about it. What you can also do, and for this, if you have intentions of creating this website and you want something other than just a cookie cutter, I recommend that you mess around with it. But if you're like, I have a vision for this page and we need to get it done, sit down with me. We'll get this page done together. Because what we also have, other than just our website, is we have this thing called the page builder. And now just to show you kind of some of the things that we did on our website, I'm going to, instead of working on Karen, I'm going to switch over. And you all don't have this option, so don't worry about this. But I'm now going to look at our office website.
Can I borrow your name?
How are you? Good, I'm waiting. I can get Karen will be in later this afternoon.
Okay, So, again, now I would go to my website. And then we'll see here that I have the exact same features, but again, if I go to visit our site, we'll see that my homepage is going to look a little bit different than the cookie cutter one.
What was your name?
The reason we did this is because we wanted our own, our own version of it. So we have our Century 21, we have our featured properties, but then right here, I have these buttons that take you to searches for different, areas. So we have Inverness, Floral City, Hernando, Citrus Hills, Beverly Hills, Lecanto. And then we can also have this little message. We have our agent testimonials down here. So we can look at our testimonials from our agents. So it talks about here how Stefan was great. I click on it and I can see the full testimonial from Amy Sue Holman and all those things. Now, if someone's looking for homes in Inverness, I just click Inverness and it takes me to a page that has actives in Inverness, Florida. If you have this idea of, this is what I want, I don't want the cookie cutter stuff, we can go in and we can create you a page like this. Our website's not done yet. We're still thinking about, adding some more things to our homepage, including maybe something like an introduction. But we also have this custom page that says become an agent. So down here, we made this custom page that says join the ranks. And then it talks about Wayne, it talks about Jim, it talks about, the things that we offer. It has this cool little particle background. It talks about MoxiWorks and what we do. And then we have some testimonials about our office from Son of Rage. So if we look at Linda's down here, we have Linda's testimonial. And so there's all these different ways that you can customize your website. And the thing is, you don't need to be a coder for any of this. You don't need to have this insane knowledge of how to build a website. You just need to kind of tinker with it. So if you go in and you can do, there's the site pages, you can create a new page. I'm going to pretend that we just went through that process, but I'm kind of going to show you just because I want to make sure we all get done on time. Is I'm just going to show you, you can create this new website and open a builder. Once you are in this builder, it'll show some that's completely blank. So for instance here, I have made this column that has text, and then some standard stuff right here. What you can do is if I hit the plus button up here at the top, I can add, for instance, a button. So if I really wanted a button in here, I can go down and I can hit button. Now we can see here, there is a button. You can link that button to different things. You can make it say, sign up, and it will update to sign up. And so there's these different things that you can do. And I just wanted to show you that. And now I'm going to show you how to actually create a simple page. So if I do site pages, add new, I can add a custom page, a testimonial page, a properties page, a menu link, menu item. But if I'm going to just add this custom page and hit submit, I can do it, the standard way where it just creates a title and some text. But what I want to do is I want to create a completely custom page that I can customize fully. I hit the builder button right here, and it's going to take me into this builder. So I have a completely blank page, there's nothing on it, and I have all these things that I can add. So you can add audio, you can add buttons, you can add text, you can go and you can add rows that have different types of columns. So for instance, this one has 3 columns. If I want to have 3 pictures next to each other, I would click and drag this 3 columns right here. And now I have 3 separate columns where I can add something. So then if I go back to this little thing that says modules, and I want to add text, I click on text right here, and I put, example. Now over here, I have text. I'm going to hit save. Let's say on this one, I want a photo. So I just hit photo. and then you can select from a media library or a link. And I have all these different pictures saved. So for instance, I say I want, this picture of Brittany here. I hit select photo, and then now Brittany's picture shows up here. And then let's say I wanted something else here, I could add all those things. You can also, so you see how I have these 3 columns over here that you can edit stuff in? What you also have is the overall row is what they call it, and you can make changes to that too. So I hit the row settings, and for instance, I can, change the text color or the link color. I can make the background a gradient. And so, for instance, right now it says linear, and then it talks about the colors, and I want it to be red and I want it to go to yellow. I mean, it looks atrocious, but if that's what you want, you can do all these different things. Again, just for the sake of, everyone that does want a website, they're going to make it so customized. So I don't want to spend all this time on showing you exactly how to do all this. But just know,
if you guys want to go this in depth, schedule a time with Tom,
right,
and they'll help you with that.
right.
I would tell you guys 100% in the next week, you guys all want to at least have your base page set up. Because the other thing we want to do, Tom was showing you kind of the page with everybody's faces and names. We want to link your guys' websites to those faces. So when somebody goes to our website, which does have more traffic than yours individually, if they go to our agent and they see Pat Davis, they could click on Pat Davis and it's going to launch Pat Davis's website with her listings, with her picture, with her bio, with her about me. That's where we want to get to.
And so this is kind of why we wanted pictures on there, is because if someone's looking for an agent, and they're on this page, and just in general, like, it's always smart to have a professional picture so people can put, a face to the name.
A little bit. So stop right there. So I'm gonna pick on, well, Katie, you're in here. But if I'm on this screen and just if I see Dan and I see this, who am I probably, and I don't know either of you, who am I more likely to select on?
Go.
Dan, you're winning that one because I have no idea what that is. That's the importance. And again, we don't care, what the picture is. We prefer professional, but again, I'm not going to restrict it, but it's going to look better. You're going to get more clicks if you have a picture versus you don't. I mean, that's just fact. Now, whatever picture you guys want, again, we're trying to line up a photographer to help you guys out for that too, but we really, really encourage, and it just looks better. The less gray spaces I have, the happier I am because the better our website looks.
Cool. So yeah, that's basically it. For those of you who speak a different language and we somehow don't know, I mean, for instance, Tao speaks Vietnamese. So if I'm a Vietnamese person, I'm like, gosh, I want a Vietnamese realtor. I can filter by language and I hit apply and wow, Tao shows up. If I speak Polish or let's say I speak Arabic, then Elias shows up. If I speak Dutch, then Sam's going to show up. So all these different people are going to show up for you, depending on what languages you speak. So, I mean, if you do speak a different language and that's something that you're interested in, let us know, because then we can add that. All right. So we've done that. Does anyone have any questions about everything that, we just kind of went through? In the simple terms, again, if you want to get really customized with this and you really want to create this awesome website, it's going to take some time to sit down and learn the program. But at the very least, it's something that you can work towards. And if you ever feel like you need to make a change to your website, you don't have to call the person that manages it or anything. You can just go in yourself, click and change, and you're good to go.
And also, just kind of something to think about, data feeds are much faster to this than they are to Zillow. I don't know how many calls in the last couple weeks I've gotten that says like, hey, my house isn't on Zillow. Well, remember, it starts in MLS, then it has to feed to Zillow, and then Zillow has to put it all in and get it to their website. Where this is literally straight from Century 21. It's a much faster process. So again, for those of you, I know Tom said sometimes it's difficult to get people to get off of that Zillow wagon and get onto the Century 21 one. That would be the push that I would make, or the point that I would make. I would say this is much faster. So again, are you missing out? And the market's changing, but are you missing out on houses that aren't getting listed? Whereas yours not showing up, it shows up, I don't want to say instantly, but much, much faster through this website than it does Zillow.
Right. And
Are
then,
you free for the next 30 minutes?
no,
Okay.
I need to make a call and then I might be free.
Okay.
But one thing that I will say is, I think you might have noticed it. If you go and you hit search or you hit the properties button on the website, it'll automatically, at the start, it takes you to Tampa, Florida. I don't know why it does that. So if I just click the property search here, I have it updated now to where, so see, I don't have it updated actually. So it shows Marion Street, Tampa, Florida. I don't know why it does that. It thinks that's our location. Usually it will do close to a location, but if I want to set that up and change it to be, for instance, Citrus County, Florida, or for instance, in the case of, for you, Linda, you put like Black Diamond, and I don't know if this is, that's it. Yeah, so if I want just Black Diamond,
Yeah,
so what you'll see here is at the top, it creates this URL. So it says, our website name, search, and then I have to, and it's a little bit annoying, but I have to basically click and drag and hold everything all the way to the end because it has all these different criterias. I hit the copy button. And then on this thing, it says create your default search area. And you can hit then search. And then if you just hit the paste, now if I save this, it'll automatically start at Black Diamond when someone does a property search on your website.
well, yeah, show me how to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at, that page.
Perfect.
Can you change the font colors
On my what?
on the link? Can you change the font colors so they're blue? Just something that makes them a little bit more noticeable that they are linked.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I can look into that. Okay. Yeah. And
I don't think they have that feature right now.
yeah. And then another really quick thing is, so if I look over here, I have this option that says switch user and I have access to all these people. If you ever are like Tom or Wayne, can you look at one of my CMAs, or Tom, can you look at my website? If you give me access, I can just get on your account real quick and I can look at these things. If you look here I need to switch to a different account real quick. So like, for instance, let's say Deanna logs in,
She wants to give Tom access so he can help her out.
which she did. Then over here, if you see agent, where is it? Why can I not find it?
I think it's got to be on her side first.
Yeah, well, either way, there's going to be a little thing that says account access on the left side of your main Moxi hub. If you then look for me and invite me, I can get access. So it's just something small. I'm not saying like go through that process right now, but if you're ever like, Wayne, I really want you to look at this CMA, you can just add it that way.
I just want to make sure we've got that right.
I've done it a couple times. I don't know what it's
Yeah, account settings is what it's called.
Yeah.
And then account access. So there's a little key, it says account settings and then access, and then it says other account access, control access to others, and you would hit manage. You can give Tom access. So he, like if you were having trouble at home doing this and Tom had access, he could also just hop on and be like, all right, see, this thing is where you're making the mistake, or this is what you need to click, and it'll just, again, help everybody use it. So you can request here. I'm not going to do it for you, but that would be where you go to.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Again, I know everybody's busy, so I don't expect like to go in and do the full-blown custom website creation thing, but I highly recommend you guys play with your own websites a little bit and get them up and running. I know Pat and both you, Linda, pay someone for a website, where I do really think once you do this once, you no longer have to even pay anybody anymore. We are currently pay Steve Tallman with Nature Coast Web Design for ours, and we're gonna nix that here shortly too. So Citrus County Century 21 will be a Moxi website. So I bought into it. I'm gonna, go that route. It looks better. It's faster. I don't know how many times I've gotten calls, people saying the listing's not on citruscountycentury21.com. And I call Steve and he says, well, it's on the web. So I'm just kind of over all that. I'd rather have
I think it should
corporate
have had to do the black diamond thing.
do it all.
Okay.
All righty?
So, Wayne?
Yes.
I just put Tom in here.